Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Straight Talk for the Soul series, your vibrational, multidimensional vitamin for the body, mind, and spirit. I'm Cari Murphy, your host, creator, and founder of this global broadcast and brilliant community of light. I want to extend a bright and a beautiful good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to all of you tuning in from around the world to help me welcome my friend and energy healer and intuitive spiritual counselor, Beth Herndobler. We're going to talk about soul retrieval, healing beyond the illusion of separation. We will take some live callers later. Press star 2 on your phone to raise your hand. You have 2 questions to choose from to ask Beth. One is there an aspect of my soul that needs and is ready for retrieval? Is there an aspect of my soul that needs and is ready for retrieval? Or where do I most need to open to heal the veils of separation? So that's going to be fun later. So welcome home, all of you beautiful souls and luminous light leaders, to this final call of season 21. I can't believe we're going to be moving into season 22 in 2022 in just a couple weeks. So that's going to be awesome. So thank you for being here to celebrate our final show and also to celebrate just this next phase of your spiritual awakening and exploration. Know that this is a harmonious haven, a sacred space, a soulful sanctuary to reconnect with soul family, to feel united rather than divided, to ignite your soul's light and radiance, and to feel empowered. This is a unity community designed to uplift you and liberate you into a state of freedom. And I am dedicated and devoted to walking hand in hand and heart to heart with all of you as we soar into new, divinely inspired, abundant realities and potentials together. Trust that you are in the right place at the right time today for another heart homecoming with Beth. So just relax, breathe, open, and receive. So thankful that you found your way here to our sacred circle today. If you have not subscribed to this show, what are you waiting for? This is a free platform. You can access everything at straighttalkforthesoul.com and listen to this replay and all of our replays on iTunes, iHeartRadio, Spotify, Amazon, Audible, and Stitcher. And we welcome you in our private Facebook group or on Instagram. Just enter in Straight Talk for the Soul or Cari Murphy to find me personally. And now my favorite question: what is the best that could happen today with Beth and myself and all of you? Please set a clear, empowered personal intention for what you wish to gain or experience today. My intention with our gathering is to be a clear and pristine communicator of divine light and love in selfless service to allow for the greatest openings into healing, freedom, abundance, prosperity, and pure empowerment for all of us gathered here. We welcome you in our webcast. Write in, let us know how you're feeling, or if you have questions, you can enter them in that way. And again, we'll take live callers later. Press star 2 for that. About Beth, she is a former trial attorney turned energy healer and intuitive spiritual counselor. Beth is a master sacred geometrist. She uses creation symbols in her energy healing practice. She is also a certified intuitive strategist, a medium, and a divine channel who communicates with your higher self, your spirit guides, your angels, and ancestors for messages and guidance. Beth combines this guidance with a breakthrough energetic technique that identifies and clears blocks and stuck points and patterns quickly so that you can open to a life lived on purpose and abundance with grace and ease. And so today on the call, expect to experience with Beth a lot of love, a lot of laughter, giggles. She's so fun, and probably some aha moments as you hear a little bit about her story and what brought her here, as a former trial attorney to an energy healer. So we're going to talk about that a little bit. We'll talk about just raising your frequency and tuning it up. She's going to offer an activation in the quantum field. We'll talk about how to tap into and receive needed support to move into what is possible for you, of course, with grace and ease. And why is it easier than you think to establish a daily practice to awaken and expand? Well, we'll talk about that. Plus, how to use the power of your breath and being in the present moment to move through shifts and changes and challenges or even chaos and all the crud of life. So instead of being taken out, you will be lifted up. We'll also talk about a deeper knowing that no matter what the circumstances are or the temporary outward appearances of your life, all is well and all will be well. So lots to dive into. Let's get started. Please join me in extending waves and waves of love and light and joy to Beth as I welcome her to the show. Hi, Beth.
Hi, Cari. It is so delightful to be basking in the glow of light and love of you and your community. Thank you so much for having me back.
Oh, we've always had so much fun together. That's why I was like, she's the perfect person to end the season with in a celebratory mode. You're always so uplifting and inspiring, Beth. And so let's talk. We're gonna touch on your journey. I mean, what do you want to share about this journey from being a trial attorney for many, many years turned energy healer? I mean, it's kind of funny if you think about it in some ways, like just the drastic turn of events. What's significant to share, Beth?
Well, I think what's coming through is when you said earlier, set an intention for this time that we're sharing together, it actually fits as my intention fits perfectly as an answer to that question. And my intention for this space for all of the community that we are in right now is I am free and confident in my freedom. And as an attorney, I did not feel free. I was very constrained. That's why I wanted to share, even before you said that, I wanted to share my intention as you shared yours. And yet it did make me laugh because I'm like, yeah, and that kind of answers the question of the journey from law to light, basically.
Law to light.
was very constraining to try to serve people, because that's what I got into the law for. I wanted to help people. And I did help people. I'm not saying I didn't, and I'm not saying lawyers don't. I'm saying that's not really what the system's about. The system is about money and power, and I was not interested in that aspect as much as I was interested in seeing the right thing done and whoever the victim may be, depending upon the area of practice that I was engaged in at the time. That isn't the focus, and it ought to be. And so the biggest shift from that career to this, where I sit now, is moving into ownership, transparent ownership of that desire, that divine mission that I came into this incarnation with, to serve other people and support them in returning to themselves, in opening a return, if you will, to love, to move out of fear and into love, to move into the truth and light of who they are, to assist and guide people in the steps they need to take, what they need to clear, what they need to let go of, surrender, move beyond in order to be their highest, best version of themselves, and thereby to be able to find and be joyful in every day, no matter what's going on. Because if we wait for the outer conditions to be right and match a flow of peace and love and joy and happiness and abundance and prosperity, it's not going to happen because it has to come from within.
Absolutely. And I feel the freedom in your voice, and I have ever since we met. And I love that, you know, your desire for freedom was realized, and now you support others in experiencing that kind of freedom too, freedom and joy from the inside out. And yes, and you know, one of your specialties has always been about really supporting people in realizing greater abundance and what that really means. And I know we focused on that last time, you know, a great deal, and we're going to talk about it today. But let's talk about how your work has evolved, you know, just in the last 2-3 years. How have things changed and shifted for you?
Well, in the beginning, so when I started doing this full time about 5.5 years or so ago, I pretty much was only open to doing angel readings, card readings. And I didn't necessarily know that at the time, I didn't have the conscious thought, this is all I'm open to. Although, moving forward a year or so from that starting point, I was busted out by one of my mentors in a group of people in a gathering after a workshop that we had presented, where he said, do that scanning thing you do on Norman.
That scanning thing you do.
And I'm like, that's not how it works. I was so angry. I mean, it triggered so much reaction in me, my shadow self, my lower self, the personas all jumped out. Don't do it. It's not safe. Don't do that. You'll be exposed. Now, the interesting thing here is, why was it okay to do angel readings and it's not okay to do energy healing? It just was not available to me until that moment. And here's this guy saying, and I'm like, I don't do that, because we had a bunch of people who had joined us for a meal afterwards that were at the workshop. So I'm like, don't get away. Stop it. You're embarrassing me. And he said, just pretend. Just pretend that I'm your teacher. Just pretend that I'm your mentor. And I'm like, inside, but you are. You are. Just pretend that I'm telling you. And he's waving his hand towards the guy, and he's saying, just do it. And everyone had stopped. The room became completely still. And that was the breakout moment where I did the process. I had to make it up right then and there, because really the scanning that I do, it's an intuitive scan internally, not so much different than muscle testing or using a pendulum. And they give yes or no answers. I'm like, I don't know how to do this with healing. So I just closed my eyes, surrendered my embarrassment, my fear, and used my hands moving down his body and just gently asking, is there anything here? Is there anything here? And then if I got that yes or no, I inquired further, and it was my first experience of energy healing.
In a public setting, yeah.
Ever. I mean, yes, exactly, in a public setting. There was no practice. There was no anything. There was just blast off. And what I learned from that is that if you surrender the idea, which can be a very expansive idea, and yet holding the idea of this is what I do is also quite naturally a limiting belief, because there's always more available to us if we're willing to trust and move forward. I had a client recently not take advantage of, I do a monthly energy healing call, and this person, by purchasing a show package, had gotten some free months on that call, and then I extended a discount offer for those who wanted to continue. And this woman, it was so beautiful. She sent me an e-card thanking me for the offer and the work, and saying, I am not comfortable playing in multidimensional higher realms, and so even though I have gotten a lot out of your healing circle, I'm just not comfortable in continuing. And in the old me, I would have had an argument, right? The lawyer in me, I would have had all my evidence, like, look, if that's exactly what you need if you're not comfortable, and we can, whatever. I would have marshaled my evidence for why, and instead I just took a breath. The breath is so powerful for rebooting. I looked at the card, and I hit reply and said, thank you so much for taking the time to reach out to me. I mean, I extended this offer to dozens of people, and a handful accepted, and she's the only one who didn't. And I don't think people need to. You don't have to say why you're not taking someone up on an offer. But it was so gentle and loving and kind that I said, thank you for that, and know that I am holding a space for you to feel comfortable wherever you are, however high or out there or right here on earth it may be. I send you love, light, ease, grace, peace, and comfort. And that story illustrates the evolution of my work, because in allowing myself to receive what the divine is telling me, okay, it's now time for you to do this, bring this forward, do that, I am shifting my work. So from all angel readings, 5 years ago, 6 years ago, I hardly ever do a straight reading. It almost is like, like the Wizard of Oz, the Tin Man, how he needs the oil to get not the squeaks out so he can move. That's kind of how it feels. If somebody books a reading, I still do them. They're still available. But what I've realized is that that's not what most people need. They don't just need to hear the guidance. They need to hear what they need to do to own what the guidance is telling them.
Right, not just the information.
That's right. That's very passive, right? Oh, I'm doing good, or, okay, they say I need to work on this, or watch out. That's very passive. But to be an active participant in your unfolding into an active participant into healing that veil of illusion and the separation, the duality that is the natural order of life here on earth, that has to be an active state. You've got to co-create that with whoever you're choosing to work with as an energy healer or a guide, and that is more where the richness of my work is now. Much more energy healing and directing, counseling, bringing forth intuitively what people need to do, and shifting out of the idea, I do this and not that, or these are my sessions and here, everything being boxed up. Everything is far more fluid now, and the way I receive things is very different. I've moved into, I have a fairly well balanced of all my clairs, as I call them, clairaudience, clairsentience, clairvoyance, clairgnosticism. There's more of them, but those are the four main ones, and I'm pretty well balanced with all of them. In the beginning, I saw everything internally, in words, images, pictures. Now I'm full on into the Gnosticism, the knowingness. And when this shift happened, it was a year ago, not this summer, the one before, I would literally be doing a session with someone, and, I guess you could call it channeling. It's not exactly that. It is. I mean, these are words that don't really fit in those higher quantum realms because they don't care about all that stuff. They're just doing the work, being the light. But in any case, I would be sitting here with my pendulum as I'm bringing stuff forth and saying, is this true, or is this you, or is this me? And every time I did it, it was, this is us, continue. This is not you making this up, because all the markers that told me something's happening, pay attention, were gone. And it was so soft and subtle because the collaboration between me and the divine, between me and the team of wisdom keepers of the client that I'm working with, had become so one that there was no need for all those other steps. Because if you're seeing things, hearing things, getting a word, you got to translate and interpret. This was direct. It's the direct knowing that I'm bringing forth, this is what this person needs. And the way the powerful way that expands the work can be seen in the results I'm having with clients who are either regularly doing one-on-one session work or participating in any of the 4 levels of my masterclass, because ongoing attention, like a daily dedicated practice, spiritual practice, is what's needed. None of this is one and done. I mean, you can't breathe once and be done for the rest of your life, or drink 1 glass of water and that's all you ever need. Your spiritual development, your opening, unfolding, is something you need to attend to daily, and you have to be willing to find, embrace, and receive those people who will be your healers and your guides. Because I just had a intuitive spiritual counseling, if you will. She calls it a reading. It is in part a reading. I just had one this morning with the woman I work with every twice a year. So we all need help, and we need to be willing to receive that help. We need to be able to allow ourselves to see what resonates, who resonates, and then move forward with that. That makes sense? And does that answer the question of how the work has shifted?
It really does. And I'm grateful that Well, thank you for sharing that, because I feel that a lot of people listening, we all go through different phases of our journey as an awakened facilitator of healing for ourselves and others. And so it's interesting to hear how yours unfolded in that way. And I love what you said. I mean, I think we're all here to support one another in seeing things more clearly. Sometimes we can't see some things, so to have the support of someone else is really helpful in illuminating, whatever is next for us to see. So,
that's right.
So with regard to the topic for today was about soul retrieval, and what part of my soul is ready needs to be retrieved and is ready to be retrieved. Why this topic? Is this something that you've been working on in your private sessions with people?
It is. Yes, it is. And it came up, I was guided to have that be the topic for today's show, and even the questions, when you read the questions, because now, for anyone who doesn't know, Cari and I, were divinely guided to reschedule my original interview to today, so I would be the last one closing out the season, so we would have this celebratory, joyful coming together. So what that means, though, is that whenever I was scheduled before, a month or two ago, I didn't look back at all the notes. I just pulled out a couple things like, what's the topic? And so I didn't know those
You're like,
questions.
that sounds good.
Right, yeah, like, okay, yeah, I remember. Okay, soul retrieval, healing beyond the illusion of separation. Okay, that's what we're talking about. And when you read those questions, I was like, what you talking about? I'm going to do what? I'm going to retrieve people's souls or tell them where they need to retrieve it? I don't do that. And I just said to the egoic left brain mental mind, it's okay. You don't have to know how to do it. They'll do it. And I could feel my little ego look up and say, oh, they will, like up to the heavens. And I said, yeah. And so that's kind of where the work is now. It's a more expanded, comfortable version of that story of after the workshop. So, yes, I have been doing soul retrieval with people, and this is going to be brand new because when I'm doing the soul retrieval with my clients, I'm not specifically doing that. This topic and these questions were brought forth for this show for me and you and you and you and you. It's like romper room. Most people probably don't even know what that is. But Miss Elizabeth, it was a children's show, sort of like Sesame Street early days when I was a child so long ago, and she used to look at the TV and point and say, you and you and you. So that's what I'm doing, everybody who's listening. I'm pointing to you. You are the recipient of this work being born out fully into the light right here, right now, because I've never done that before, these questions. And even the topic, you look at my website, I don't offer any soul retrieval sessions. It's just that it has come into my consciousness, especially in the past year, with all that we've been going through globally, and not just the human 3D mundane stuff that's going on in the world, but energetically, the light that's coming in, the new earth light that's coming in, and the astrological aspects are inordinately challenging. There are things going on that have not occurred for hundreds and thousands of years, and the pressure that that's applying as a force for change on the collective consciousness is tremendous. And through that, the divine said you need to help people bring those pieces of their soul back to them that for whatever reason have been launched out there, that have separated over there. And so I do this work through the stuff that I've already been doing, like the persona clearing, timeline. I do a lot of timeline work. I also just do it. Again, I can't even necessarily explain. Like, without that workshop experience, I could not have imagined that the
what
scanning that
through.
I do,
Mm-hmm.
right,
Mm-hmm.
exactly. So
yeah.
I have to trust. That's the biggest shift in my work. And this topic, this action, this healing of soul retrieval and moving into a state of unity in the community, of unity consciousness,
Mm-hmm.
healing the illusion of separation. This is something that I am being called to do now because of everything that's happening, because people need support. You can't have pieces of yourself, even if they're only, this is not literal, but for the sake of illustration, if you're sitting in the chair that you're in and a piece of your soul is in the kitchen, that's not good because you're not in the kitchen. You need to have everything with you where you go. So let's just have a little experience of this. Is that okay? Just a little.
Yeah.
Real quick. So everybody close your eyes and take a nice, deep, easy breath in to just settle into this moment. And imagine that you can sense, feel, or really, truly just imagine that where out there in your field, parts of your consciousness have been floating, let's say. This is not, strictly speaking, a piece of your soul breaking off. This is just your present consciousness. You're thinking about what you did before. You're thinking about what you have to do next. All of that. I want you to call all your conscious awareness, call all your attention back to you right here, right now with me, and place it in the central channel that runs in front of your spine from your crown to your root, just like you're stuffing cotton balls in a tube. And be free with this. Don't judge it. Continue calling all your conscious awareness back to you. Place it in that central channel. Call it back from above, below, front, back, side to side. Take a nice deep breath in, drawing all of you back to oneness with the whole of you. And now one last deep breath to just feel the resonant harmony, the balance of having all your conscious awareness aligned within your central channel.
Yeah, just to feel more centered, more whole. And I think it is really important right now, as we're letting go of everything that doesn't serve us, all of the limiting beliefs, the programs, the patterns of the old 3D world, we create space within our consciousness mansion, as I like to call it, for all of those aspects to come home. And that is what liberates us, is feeling the freedom of being all of who we are. And so thank you for that. And I want to highlight that when we do take callers, I mean, if they want to ask one of those questions, great. If they, basically you connect in with their team or their guides or higher self, and just give them a message that is beneficial for them to receive. So we don't have to stick with these questions if you don't want to. It's really up to you, Beth. And that's true. Mm-hmm. We don't. The only thing is, as you heard in the beginning of the show, we really didn't dwell much on my story and how I got here. We touched upon it, that I was a lawyer and came here, what the differences were between this work and that. And so whatever the question is, whatever the need is, just don't go into story, because we want to get to as many callers as we can, and you can share a sentence or two about what you're going through if you don't want to ask one of these two questions, but I don't need the story. Yeah. So that's actually the only reason for the questions, is to give people a way to ask without feeling the need to explain. Mm-hmm. Here's what I need. Here's what I've been going through. That all that detail serves in processing, but not in just doing some
quantum work in
well,
the
for
short
you just
form.
to tap in, you don't
That's
really
right.
need any of that. You're tapping into their frequency field. So the questions, why don't we do some of this? So the question is there an aspect of my soul that needs and is ready for retrieval? Is there an aspect of my soul that needs or is ready for retrieval? I think that's a great one. Let's just go with that.
Okay.
To allow you to connect with them. And again, it's *2 to raise your hand. And again, your name and the question would be awesome. So, okay, our first caller that I'm going to is area code 603. You're live, 603.
Hi there. I think it's me.
It is you.
Yes.
Hi.
Wonderful. My name's Emily, and I would love that question. Is there an aspect of my soul that needs or is ready for retrieval?
Thanks, Emily.
Thank
Yes,
you.
Emily. Okay, so the first thing that I'm seeing is they look like butterfly wings more than angel wings. They're shooting out your back, and they're not floating or flapping, if you will. They're straight back and rigid. And this is showing me that there is a path behind you where you've left a piece of your divinity, if you will, your sovereign divinity, your light, your ownership of the divinity that is true, of who you are, if that makes sense. You are a divine sovereign being of love, light, and service, and there's a piece of your soul that kind of broke off along the way saying, yeah, not so much, not safe to do that. And it's right back in that channel. So just close your eyes and feel into the area from just below your shoulders about down to where your navel would be, but in the back. Is there any sensation that you get of inflexibility, rigidness, tension, tightness, even like a really super
on my
straight
left-hand side, yeah.
There it is. So now we're going to do this real quick. I want you to take a deep breath in, and I want you to say aloud, I call back the piece of my soul that did not trust my sovereign divinity to shine.
I call back the piece of my soul that did not trust my sovereign divinity to shine.
Now breathe in. As you breathe in, you're drawing that little energetic piece of your soul back into the left side of your back. Now take another deep breath in, placing your attention on that area, and see the light of the soul that has been retrieved, that piece of your soul, expanding out through the whole of you. Tap your heart with your fingertips, all of your fingertips, just all around your heart. And then down into your power center, just tapping a little bit to let the physical, which is denser energy, the matter of your physical body, receive that piece of your soul back. You can stop the tapping. And now one last deep breath in to just let everything settle. And for you, Emily, going forward, you want to stay grounded, drink a lot of water. You want to spend, if you can, spend a little bit of extra time connecting with nature. If you're not able to get out in nature where you live, given the weather or other conditions, just look out the window at the sky, feel the air, a tree. Really connect and extend an inner smile to reclaim the divine sovereign truth and light of you and what more you are here to be, do, have, and create. Really focus on integrating that piece of your soul, that energy, back into wholeness with all of you. And reach out and let me know how it's going. It feels like things might feel pretty different for you by Sunday, Monday, and I would love to hear what you're experiencing. Thank you for being willing to do
Thank you so much, Beth. Yeah, I feel a ton of heat in my whole torso, and especially my left side. So that was really
wonderful.
loving.
Wonderful.
Thank you.
You're very welcome. Much love to you, my dear.
Much love to you.
Yay, Emily.
Thank you.
Good. Thank you, Emily.
Thank you. Thank you both.
You're welcome.
So
Happy holidays. Beautiful
Yes.
one. Okay.
Thank you. You guys too.
Thank you.
Thanks, Emily. Thanks, Beth. Okay. All right. I'm going to go to our next caller. I'm going to area code 805. And remember, the question is there an aspect of my soul that needs and is ready for retrieval? Okay. 805. You're live.
Hi, this is Colleen.
Well, hi, Colleen. Welcome.
Hi. Is there an aspect of my soul that needs retrieval?
There is, and the question is coming forth as to your readiness. The piece of your soul that is coming forth now, this does not mean it's the only one. I mean, these separations happen all the time. Some are major and cause huge issues, and others are just like that example I gave of you're sitting in the chair, but your piece of your soul is in the kitchen. That's minor. For you, there is a big piece that has come from pain, disappointment in love, betrayal, broken-hearted stuff, and I can see it in your chest area. Is this something that's available to you, this sensation?
Yes.
Okay. And the question is, are you ready to let go? Because pain can be comforting. And the pain from a broken heart, so to speak, I'm using that very metaphorically, is something that we're not always ready to let go of, because you love and then there's a fracture and there's pain. And sometimes as humans, we hold on to the comfort of that pain as the shadow side of the love. And yet it obstructs us opening to and returning to receiving love after loss. So are you ready to let that go?
Yes, I'm ready to let that go.
Okay. Close your eyes and imagine your attention in the center of your heart, and imagine that there are beautiful gates at the front of your heart, and you have the key. You're going to open those gates, and this can be done for anyone who has an issue of heartache, loss, betrayal. And now there's a beautiful flood of pale golden, bright yellow, somewhere in between there, like the flame of a candle, coming towards you. Repeat after me. I reclaim the wholeness of my heart and love.
I reclaim the wholeness of my heart and love.
I reclaim the wholeness of my heart and love.
I reclaim the wholeness of my heart and love.
I reclaim the wholeness of my heart and love.
I reclaim the wholeness of my heart and love.
Now receive all that love, that energy, that frequency of love flowing on that yellow golden light into your heart, as if you are welcoming back the love that you gave away. You're welcoming it back with a warm embrace. Let it seal in, set in through your heart. Beautiful. Beautiful. And you don't need to close the doors. They'll just do their thing, eventually dissolving, because those doors were part of what kept that piece of your soul out. So just let the doors on the outer aspect of your heart do their thing until they're ready to just kind of float and fall away. You want to focus throughout the day on moving the breath through your heart with love, calling back love of you into the wholeness of your soul. Does that make sense?
Yes, thank you.
You are so welcome. You are so welcome. Thank you for being willing to give it up.
Really? Yes.
The
You
love.
were ready. I could tell in your voice, Colleen. You were.
Yes.
I'm so ready.
Oh, well, so many blessings to you, Colleen, as your heart just opens and opens and opens. And what a gift as you move into the holidays, the new year. And thank you for being with us, Colleen.
Thank you. My whole body is just chilling and tingling.
Wonderful, wonderful.
I love it. Love it, love it, love it. Thank
Beautiful.
you, Colleen. And
Thank you.
Oh, that's so great. And thank you, Beth. Beautiful.
You're welcome.
Okay, we're going to move
Pretty
right
cool.
along. Yes, it
is.
Yes.
In this precise form. I'm serious, everybody. I've never done this work in this form in public before. It's brand new, and you guys are the recipients of this beautiful divine gift.
Yes, everybody. So anybody with your hands up, again, it's star 2 to raise your hand by phone. Is there an aspect of my soul that needs and is ready for retrieval? That's the question. Okay, so about 10 hands just went up in addition to all the other ones. So here we go. I'm going to go to area code 613. You're live, 613.
Hello.
Hi, welcome.
Hi. Oh, Cari and Beth, I'm super excited to be sharing this energy with you.
What's your name, my dear?
My name's Dorothy.
Hi, Dorothy.
I asked that question that Cari just asked. Are there any aspects of my soul that's ready to come back?
Yes. I'm getting a sensation of off the right side of your body of maybe 20 or so, 30 feet out there. A piece of your soul was fractured off from the whole of you as a result of personal power not being comfortably owned and you not being ready to receive what more you're to do and to let go of what's holding you back, responsibility that you no longer need but were holding on to, and it kept this backwards pull. It's like you were staked on the right side while the forward motion, the right side is that aspect of the body that is indicating you stepping into your purpose, into your wholeness, into the truth and light of you and what more is possible for you. And that opposition by holding on to responsibilities that are no longer yours, really never were, caused a piece of your soul to fracture off out through just around the front above the breast area. So to heal this, to retrieve that aspect of your soul and to have it remain unified in the whole of your soul, you have to be willing, even if you don't necessarily at this moment consciously understand what you've taken on as your responsibility that isn't yours. Do you have some sense of something I hear children, so that makes sense to me.
That's my cat.
That's your kitty cat. Yeah.
Oh, it's a cat. Interesting, because your cat is speaking human, basically. It's like it really is communicating. That is beautiful.
He really is. I'm in the bathtub right now, and I have a little bit of a crack open, so he's in the bedroom, and since he started talking, he's like, yeah, you hear? This is he's about 20 feet away on the right-hand side. He's coming in now.
Yes, and he is really encouraging you to let go of this responsibility that you've been carrying like a sack of potatoes and move forward. So are you willing to let go of that, whatever that is? And do you have any sense of what it might be that you've been taking?
Yes,
you do.
Without a doubt. I feel like I've been carrying on the weight of many people, and I've heard it many times before. It's not my responsibility to carry on the weight of others.
Right. Now, here's the thing. We all have to remember that holding on to something that isn't ours to hold on to does not do any good for the other or for us. If it's not yours to do, it isn't yours to do, and you need to surrender it and allow that other person to do whatever they need to do. You can always send love and light and powerfully pray for that person. It's just not yours to disrupt by taking on what isn't yours, because as you can feel, and as you've been told before today even, that is taking you out and making you less whole, less in the light, less capable of fulfilling the mission that you came here to do, of being of service and doing the work. So we have to reorient the neural pathways in our brain to direct them to recognize letting go of responsibility has nothing to do with whether you care, are a good person, are helping people, doing the right thing, all of that. Because sometimes the letting go is the work that will free you and the other person. Does that make sense?
Absolutely.
So right now, Archangel Michael is standing behind you in all his glory, and he's taking, so just breathe into this. Keep your eyes closed and your attention inward turned. He's taking his sword and cutting all the way down the back of you on that right side. We are sending all cords that no longer serve back to the source from whence they came, with the injunction they are not to be reapplied, as they will not be received. Take a deep breath in and let it go. And now open to the beautiful pink light. It's the light of love, the light of the divine feminine, the light of your true inspired divinity is beaming towards you, carrying that piece of your soul that fractured off and returning it to that area just above the right side of your breast. Breathe that in as you receive this luminescent divine feminine light back, returning you to love, to connection with your divinity, to inspired action steps taken in divine right and perfect order to move you forward on your journey so you can be the light and be the change. Take a deep breath in and let that breath emanate that beautiful pink frequency in, through, and as the whole of you. And how are you feeling?
Surreal. This wave of emotions. I feel like this is gonna exactly what I needed at this exact moment. So I thank you so much for lining it all up.
You're very welcome. One thing, you said you were in the bath, right? Are you in a water bath right now?
Yeah, I'm in a water bath right now.
When you're done, because with that clearing and cutting of the cords, there may have been some cruddy energy that was drawn into the water, because water liquids act as a magnet for denser energy. So once you drain the tub, just then wash and rinse, like in a shower. It's not very environmental for water, but it is what you need to do to make sure that you don't have any of those little bits and particles, even subatomic ones, connected to your field.
No. I know what else wants to make that happen. Thank you.
Thanks, Dorothy. Welcome. So much love to you and your kitty.
Yes, your kitty human, your kitty kid.
Yeah,
thank you, kitty.
Koosh knows what's going on. He's sending his love too.
Thank you, Dorothy, for being so courageous, and happy holidays.
Happy holidays.
Okay. Thank you, Beth. We're going to move right along. Okay, so again, the question is there an aspect of my soul that needs and is ready for retrieval? Going to area code 831. You're live.
Is this me?
Yes.
It's you.
Hello?
What is your name?
No, that's my dog. My name's Chloe.
Hi, Chloe. We have lots of animals joining us today.
We
love
sure
it.
do.
I know,
They like
my
the
dog's
energy.
right. He's been so quiet all morning, and oh my
He
God.
wants to be a part of it. Okay, Chloe, let's hear you ask the question for Beth.
All right. Is there any aspect of my soul that needs and is ready for retrieval?
Yes, there's a split off in your sacral chakra, that area that is representative of the energy of passion, pleasure, adventure, creativity, inspiration. It with that piece of your soul being fractured out from the whole of you, it would be experienced as making those aspects a bit more difficult for you to access. Is this something that resonates with you?
Yes. When you did the visualization earlier, that's where I felt yes.
Okay. So the courage that Cari speaks of thanking the callers for being courageous, for raising their hand and doing this work in this forum, is something that you need to have to reclaim this aspect. You are entitled to have fun. You are, in fact, being ordered by your team to have more fun, to open joyfully to creativity and inspiration of what you are supposed to passionately bring forth, and that includes physical pleasure as well. So close your eyes, open in front of you horizontally, so straight out, your sacral chakra, and along the light that's emanating out, it's as if the light of your sacral chakra is a hand reaching out to scoop up that piece of your soul that was fractured off, that's making it difficult for you to engage in all those things with ease and grace, passion, peace, pleasure, adventure, inspiration, creativity, sex, all of it, and bringing that back to you and gently tucking all that back into your sacral chakra, bringing all the light back to you. Take your right hand and place it on your sacral chakra, so just below the belly, and your left hand over it, and breathe into, send the breath down there, just gently pressing with the hands to reintegrate, to recalibrate, regenerate the flow and the frequency of your sacral chakra. There it goes, with this piece returned. Beautiful. So over the next couple of days, you want to use that practice of just placing your hands over your sacral chakra, taking a breath, closing your eyes, tuning into that beautiful sunset orange, rose goldy color that is flowing through the sacral chakra, and let it emanate out through the whole of you, so that the whole of your energetic field, the whole of your soul can get refamiliarized with itself, if that makes sense. How are you feeling?
Wow. I felt like exhilarated, like rush of energy. Yeah, it feels really, really good.
Good, because that resonates with what I was seeing and sensing, because it was so eager. The sacral chakra and the piece that was out there were so eager to reconnect. It was almost like a big tongue extending out and licking it up and just swallowing it, digesting it back in. It was really, really beautifully quick, because the two parts were so longing to be reunited. So spend some time in each day to bring joy and fun and love and light in, and just allow yourself to dance and revel in the glory of the season. It is the season of light that we're in, so bring the light in and go forth.
Pleasure, play, dance.
Thank you so much.
Yes. You are so welcome.
Amazing.
You're going to have a great new year. You're going to have
right?
a great new year, Chloe.
So excited. Thank you both so much.
Thanks,
You're so
Chloe.
very welcome, my dear.
So much love to you, Chloe. Love that. Love that. I have a big smile on my face. Thank you, Beth. Okay,
You're welcome. I have a big smile on my face, too. I've never seen a sacral chakra tongue lick up a piece of soul.
Oh, my God. All right, Chloe. Yay for you. Okay. Now I'm going to go to, again, the question, is there an aspect of my soul that needs and is ready for retrieval? Caller that I'm going to is area code 503. You're live. 503.
Hi, Cari.
Hi.
Happy holidays. Thank you so much for calling me. Hi, Beth.
Hi. What is your name?
My name is Anne, and I would like to ask if there's any aspect of my soul that needs and is ready for retrieval. Thank you.
Yes. So right down the center of your chakras, there's a destability, if that's, I think that's a word, but it's like the energy is sort of flopping around and not aligned in a smooth, graceful way. And above, way out there above your head, is a piece of the crown chakra, that aspect of your soul that connects you to higher wisdom, higher light, higher consciousness, that has fractured off in a prior, most likely a past life, but it could be ancestral lineage, or both actually, because it wasn't safe. This is very common with light workers, energy healers, that it's not always understood, and we have been attacked and burned and so forth. So there's a piece of your soul that's up there because it fractured off during one of those times. Does this at all resonate with your sense of yourself, your life, your experience?
I definitely do feel a little hard to connect sometimes.
Yes, and that would be, it's like part of the reason it would be hard to connect is that the energy is shimmering and shaking, almost as if you're trying to meditate and somebody keeps tapping you on the shoulder. Saying, Hey, yeah. Ann. That the way that you described it is exactly what this is. So let's settle this. So close your eyes, and above you is Divine Mother, the Divine Feminine Angel, and Mary Magdalene. You are attended to by these high Divine Feminine beings, and it's actually coming down. What they're bringing down looks like the size of about a volleyball, soccer ball, of beautiful glowing white light, and within that white light is where it's been safe and protected all these eons, this piece of your soul that fractured off when it wasn't safe to shine. That is being returned to you in this beautiful bubble of light that they are now gently placing on top of your head. Breathe it in and direct it to settle in your crown, and then let the rest of the beautiful light, that brilliant light, emanate in, through, and as the whole of you, down your spinal area, through all of your chakras, all the way down to the root. See it as a pillar or a column of light that is creating stability. You can even allow it to extend beyond the root. It can go as high up or down as you are called to do, because now that your soul piece, the piece of your soul has been retrieved, the stability is there, and you will be able to connect above and below with much greater ease. Take a deep breath in. Direct that light to just stabilize and hold the space of stability for your truth and light to be freely, safely, peacefully, joyfully expressed. Take another deep breath in. There you go. How are you feeling?
I feel really peaceful, really grateful. Thank you so much.
You're very welcome. Hold that state of peace and grace, and every day add to your spiritual practice of connecting in with this pillar of white light down through the center of you, and allow it to shift every day, because one day it may just go from crown to root. The next day you may be called to extend it down into the heart of Mother Earth and up into the heavens. Be willing to be flexible with what the pillar of light knows it needs to do to stabilize and expand and up-level you, okay?
Okay.
Beautiful work, Anne.
Thank you.
Great receptivity.
Thank you.
Oh,
Thank
Anne,
you
I'm
so
so
much.
glad you're with us today. Yay.
Me too. Me too. Wow.
Beautiful to hear your voice, Anne. Happy holidays. And
Happy holidays.
so much love
Thank
to
you.
you. Okay.
So much love to you. Okay.
Bye, Anne. Okay, Beth. Woohoo. Okay. What I'd like to do now is talk about the opportunity to work with you and your offers, and then the group activation. We'll go into that. It may take a couple questions from the webcast because so many people wrote in. Okay, so Beth, you created 2 amazing offers for our community. They can be found at straighttalkforthesoul.com. Click on the marketplace link at the top of the page, and you will see Beth's brilliantly beautiful smiling face. Look at that smile. That is a joyful smile, Beth. Okay, so 2 offers. Okay, so the first one is Transforming Your Soul Nature, Living on Purpose and in Alignment with the New Consciousness Grid. This is a 2-part workshop. Tell us about it, my dear.
In the workshop, we have the first part is a lecture that you'll get a recording of that, so you can, if you listen to it and go deeper with the teaching. I have learned over the years that we all need to know things. In fact, when I listen to a recording of a lecture that I gave some years ago, I am often surprised, like, I knew that? I know that. And so the teaching obviates the need for me to spend that time in private session with each person. That's why my package is set up to offer the workshop, and if it's available to you, to get the package that includes all that, plus the opportunity to work with me one-on-one. Because that way you get to learn as a group, and then we can dive deep when we get together. The second part of the workshop is a Q&A that would actually, it's a quantum energy lab, much like what we just did. It's not confined to a specific question. You can ask anything. You can say, I'm feeling this or that, or, you know, I have, as Anne said, you know, I haven't been able to ground connect. I have that. You can bring something like that up, and we can work on it. You can get guidance. It's your time in the group format. You get about, 10 or 15 minutes or so, depending upon the number of people. And so that's the second part of the workshop. You also get a whole host of course materials that help you set yourself up for success in the light, because we do need to have a daily dedicated spiritual practice, and that may shift and change over time as to what more is needed, and the materials help you understand all of that, as well as how things are working. What is all this energy doing in our bodies? What does it even mean that everything's energy? So there's a lot of rich head material, if you will. We like to feed that left brain, even though we know it is not the leader, it's the servant. The right brain, the divine feminine, is the lead, but we need that left brain to be full of the knowledge that it needs to help us move forward. And then you also get some MP3s, Fibonacci activations. The Fibonacci spiral allows for exponential expansion when you use the spiral of whatever the focus is on it. So learning to work with this powerful piece of sacred geometry is very important to you being able to develop the tools that you need so that you can do more of your own work and require less of someone else out here to assist you in doing it. That's the whole thrust of the package, is empowering you to be you. And to that end, there's also a few MP3s that come with this package that are from my healing circle. That one that is very powerful is a sacred energetic bonfire and release. It would be very good. I can feel the need in this community for those of you who choose to go deeper into the work with me. That sacred bonfire tool is very important to use between now and the end of the year to release all the stuff that you've picked up in these last couple of years that have been so challenging and intense. We've all picked up a lot of stuff that we need to let go of and come into the new year, which is more expansive and bringing even more light in, that for many of us, everything is going to begin shifting to more bounty, more abundance, more receptivity to what more is possible. And the way that you can get there is to create space within your field to receive. So that in particular is leaping out at me right now as something that would be very good. And then there's some bonus gifts too. All of this is again, devised to help lift you to a place where you can do the work yourself. And so then the package A is all of that, and then package B is all of that plus a session, a private session with me. And I believe, Cari, tell me if this is true, I believe there's an add-on bonus that you get. Is that right?
Yeah, the 5-day bonus offer. If you say yes in the next 5 days, you get a 3-month subscription to the monthly Energy Healing Circle with Beth. So that is nice.
And the difference, it is nice. It really is nice. And the work we're doing is very wonderful and lovely. And the difference between having those MP3s and being able to be live on those calls, which are every Saturday, the first Saturday of the month at 11. There's always a Pacific. There's always a recording, and you can submit your question in advance if you can't be on the call live, because we do a Q&A after. So you get to engage with me in that group format every month. Now, sometimes the work we do, that even the most prolific of our tribe, that prolific in terms of hand raising, sometimes they just can't because everyone is so zoned out from the work. So it's interesting to see what produces what. In any case, it's a beautiful experience. It's a powerful tribe, and I was so happy to offer that as a 5-day bonus along with the rest of this, so that people can have your community, Cari, can have the experience of the work being done at that deep level. We've really created a very powerful M field in this healing circle. I think it's been going 4 years now, and it's just a real sacred place, very elegant place to be in. So I'd love for everybody to have that experience.
I would too. I have a question for you. So the 2-part workshop, there's the Q&A. Is the workshop live or is this recorded?
I'm not, well, the teaching part may or may not be recorded, because the recording that I will, again, when I first set this package up, when we were supposed to have the call a month or so ago, it was clear that this is what I was to use. But then in the last week, it's coming through, no, do a new one. So I believe it's going to be some brand new material.
Okay,
Gotta
and
follow
you will
the
let
guidance.
everybody know when you get your, Beth will contact you if you purchase this offer and let you know about that. And then they will have immediately all these other things, the course materials, there are PDFs, there are the MP3s, the channeled energy infused Fibonacci activations, so they can dive into all of this right away.
Right. And I have not set the dates yet for the workshop, again, because I'm waiting for the guidance. Though it probably will be The workshop will probably start the third. It's feeling right now like the third or week of September. No, January. Hello.
Yes. Yeah.
Where are we? Who am I? What's happening?
Yeah,
And
which is right around the corner. Yeah.
It is right around the corner, especially with the disruption to linear time that the holidays, this Festival of Lights brings. I hope everyone, whatever you do, however you celebrate, this is not about the commercial aspect of the holidays, but use this time. It is a very powerful, sacred. These really should be called holy days, not holidays. So use this time to open yourself to this light that is available at this time of the year to set yourself up for a much more abundant, elegant, flowing with ease and grace year in 2022. And the last thing is, if you purchase Package B right now, I have not yet opened up any, I forgot to open calendar appointments. So give me an hour or two after we finish the call. I will have opened some appointments up, and then you'll be able to see. And all those appointments will be starting after the new year.
Yeah. So we're a couple weeks away. So there's plenty to start on prior to that. So yeah, and a private session with you, clearly in just a couple of minutes or a few minutes with callers, you just kind of get right in there. So for those of you who want some just kind of focused attention and really need some personal support, there's that for you. So Beth, thank you for all of that. And everybody who's been with us, thank you. We are going to do an activation. Beth, do you mind if I go into the webcast and at least take a question from someone there? Because there are probably 60
please.
people who wrote in.
Oh, thank you all. Thank you all for being here and for being eager and choosing to raise your hands. I wish I could connect with each of you individually, but no, just at this moment, take a nice deep breath in and receive the love, the light, the healing, the up-leveling that I am sending from my heart, from the divine to your heart. Just breathe that in. Thank you all for being here.
Yes, thank you all. It is such a beautiful community, and there's so much love that flows here on a daily basis, and I hope you can feel it, Beth. But
I do. It's part of you, of course, my darling, are the main draw, and just a beat off that main draw is your beautiful community. There's nothing like it. Nothing like it.
They're amazing. So what I'm going to do is take a question from Tama. I'm going to go to Tama from Inverness. She said, wow, every community question is resonating, and there are the sweetest birds joining us outside my window.
Aww.
Tama is asking, she wants to know the question, is there an aspect of Tama's soul that needs and is ready for retrieval? Thank you, Cari and Beth. This is all wonderful.
Cari, how is her name spelled?
Tama, Tama.
T as in Tom.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. So birds are messengers, and they are very connected to me, and I am delighted, Tama, to hear that they are there on your end, enhancing the connection. So down the back, okay, it's more in the low back, so just right above your glutes, but then it actually looks sort of like an arrow energetically, or an anchor, that the lower back area is where the anchor part is, and then there's a line going up. So there's a bit of disconnection there from a piece of your soul that fractured off in many, many past lives ago in a time of war. And so what you want to do is spend a little bit of time with your eyes closed, centered. You'll get the centering process that I use. It's not necessary to do it that way when we do the activation in just a couple minutes, and you can use that process to center and ground, to connect above to the heavens and down into the earth of that divine support that is available to us from our Pachamama, and then feel into that area, and you want to continue to open to calling back all aspects of your conscious awareness, all aspects of your soul that have been left behind on those battlefields. And for right now, what we're going to do is remove that arrow to open the way. We don't have time because this is actually big work for you. Thelma, it would be very good for you if it's available to you to get the package, because we can dive a lot deeper into this. But for now, we will remove that arrow to create space that you can then focus on the calling back from the back of those pieces of your soul left on the battlefield. So close your eyes, and the divine feminine and masculine stand behind you, she on the right, he on the left. She is pushing down at the top on the shank of the arrow, and he is pulling at the bottom. And it's ready to go. It just swiftly pops out. Take a deep breath in. The divine feminine is using her hands in making sacred eights all over the outer aspect of your spine to restore the flow to the back channels of your energy centers. Take another deep breath in. Beautiful. Very receptive to the work, Thelma. So continue to focus on that back channel, keeping it open and fluid. You can call in the divine feminine and masculine, have them do that sacred eight healing, and then in your times of meditation and stillness, even if you're washing the dishes, doing something that's repetitive, that doesn't require your full attention, call back, extend an invitation. I call back all pieces of my soul left on the battlefield, and I'm willing to receive that now. And if you just keep doing that, you will gather all those bits and pieces back to you into wholeness.
Beautiful. Happy to hear that she was so receptive energetically to this. So Thelma, would love to hear from you if you'd like to write in and just see how you're feeling. So Beth, thank you for that. And I would love to move into the group activation. And so does this feel like a good time?
Perfect. It's perfect.
Okay, great.
So if everyone would get into a comfortable position, whatever that is, you don't need to be sitting up straight. You can lay down. Just get cozy and comfy and close your eyes. Bring your attention to your third eye and then drop it down to your heart space, imagining you're standing within that beautiful love that is your heart. From the center point of your heart, extend a brilliant diamond white light up through your throat, your third eye, and out your crown, sending it way high up to the furthest reaches of the galaxy, where you will see, sense, feel, or just imagine there's a divine star point with your name on it, and you're going to lasso your star, wrap your white light around 3 times tightly so that you are deeply connected and receptive to the sovereign divinity, the heavenly divinity that is you, and then run that heavenly energy down your white light. Bring it all back down to your heart space. Return your attention to your heart space and imagine a stout gold grounding cord about as wide as your body, and send that down through your torso, down out your feet into the center of the earth. There's a golden ball of grace light, the heart of Mother. Lock your grounding cord into that grace light ball. Beautiful. Now run that golden grace light up your cord. Bring it all the way back up to your heart where it meets the white light from above, and just allow the convergence of the white and the gold to extend out in through the whole of you. Turn your attention to the very center of your heart space. There's a 0 set point, like a power button there. Activate that power button, and it unleashes the new consciousness grid out from the whole of you. It's an infinitely expanding sphere of grid lines. Infuse it with gold and violet flame. All those grid lines flowing gold and violet flame. And now return your attention to your heart space. Further into your heart, there's a portal, the tiny space of the heart. It's an opening that allows you to pass into the ascended high heart, into the quantum, into the infinite field of all that is. Locate that portal and pass through it. You will find yourself on the other side in a beautiful quantum meadow. Just breathe in, take in the sights, the sounds, the smells of everything that is present for you in this meadow. Notice in the center there's a luminescent white circular clearing. Walk over to that clearing and step into the center of it. Feel the white light coming up through your feet and allow it to move through all of your bodies, mental, physical, emotional, and energetic or spiritual. Allow that white light to cascade in through and as you notice that the outer edge of the circle has now drawn in many divine beings. You may recognize some. Archangel Michael is here, Gabrielle, Divine Mother, many others. Notice who's there. Extend gratitude to them for showing up. As you receive the light emanating from the palms of their hands, they've all elevated their palms towards you. And beautiful streams, laser beams of light are emanating out into the whole of you. And as this light makes contact with your field, it begins forming infinite sacred eights, little sacred eights that are rotating, swirling, twirling, activating from the light of the heart of the divine to the heart and the light of you. Receive the energy, the frequency, the love, the light, the peace, the joy, the abundance flowing in all these many sacred eights, wherever they are needed in your body. Take a deep breath in. Stand as witness observer to the motion of the eights, to the location. Are they spinning to the right, to the left? Are they stable and emanating out? Doesn't matter what you experience or how you experience it. Just stand as witness observer to the work that is healing all parts of you, bringing you back into a state of coherence beyond the illusion of separation through the gift and the grace of these divine beings and the sacred eight. Keep breathing. All the divine beings have now drawn their palms down towards their sides. There's no diminution in the sensation and the energy of the sacred eights. You are free to take that energy with you as you return. Your choice, leave it here. You can return here to access it again, or you can take it with you. Take a moment to turn round the circle to extend gratitude and love to all of these divine beings for their presence, for their light, for their service, for their love in helping you heal beyond the illusion of separation. Walk out of the circle and back to the tiny space of the heart, to that portal, pausing before you enter it to turn around and bear witness to everything that's happened here in this infinite field of all that is, this beautiful meadow. And now pass through to the other side, back to your heart space. Take a nice, deep, easy breath to settle all the work, letting the work do the work, to bring you into a state of coherence, wholeness, and oneness with the divine. Turn your attention to the outside of your aura and imagine pouring a liquid platinum shield all over it. And you're then going to stud that platinum shield, the most impervious of natural substances, with diamond mirror tiles, hundreds of them. Just place them all over, creating a disco mirror ball of protection so that your energy remains within and others without. Your light can shine, be seen, connect with others, and yet no energetic interference needed. Feel into that state of stability, as above, so below, as within, so without, as we say, Mother, Father, God, source of all that is, all of the guides, angels, wise one teams, and ancestors who have been present here today for this Sacred 8 activation. For this we extend much love, great thanks, infinite, bountiful thanks, and so it is.
And so it is. I love the mirror ball.
Sure, yeah, right. Who doesn't want to be a disco mirror ball? Make sure you stay grounded. I even have a bunch around my house.
I'm not
client
surprised.
Sent me 3 ornament disco mirror balls that hang over my desk. It's so beautiful. But stay grounded, drink a lot of water. That was very gentle, and yet whenever you work with energy, it's important to pay attention to what your body needs and to give it that. So go gently and do you.
You're so great, Beth. I love you, Beth. You're so fun, but you're so potent and powerful with what you're bringing through. I want to share with you that Tama wrote back in and she said, "Sweet Cari and Beth, I'm having trouble finding the words. I've never felt this before. You guys, I felt surrounded by so much energy, so much love and helpers and release. I feel so blessed. Tears of gratitude." Thank you, Tama, for sharing.
Tama. And Cari,
so
I love you too. I didn't want to interrupt you, but I love you too.
Thank you. Oh, what a fun way to end season 21 with you, Beth, and thank you for everything that you brought forward, and all the beautiful beings that you helped. And then the Sacred 8 activation was wonderful, and anybody who wants to write in, you're welcome to write in. But thank you all for being here. We had a large group with us here today, Beth, and I'm sure many more will listen in the future over the holidays and beyond. So, wow, thank you, Beth. Any final message for this beautiful community of souls?
Trust what is coming through and then take divinely inspired action on what is next for you. Be willing to move forward with knees knocking. If it were easy and comfortable, everybody would be doing it. And yet we do need everyone to be doing it. If we are to succeed in this grand experiment of converting this planet from duality and negativity, from fear to love to light, we need each and every one of you to shine your light brilliantly. So carry on.
Glow, glow, glow. Absolutely.
Yes, I love that. Yes.
Get your glow on, everybody, and enjoy sparkling over the holidays. I am so thankful and grateful to all of you And so many of you are here every day, and I'm so grateful for the light that you bring to this community and for all the new people, everybody. It is such a brilliant community. I love you all so much. So thank you for the gift of your time, your presence, and your love today and throughout this season. It is an honor and a gift to have you with us. Notice today how you're feeling, what stood out for you with everything that Beth shared, what shifted for you. Notice what is different. And then open your heart and let the brilliant, beautiful, bountiful blessings flow to you today, throughout the holiday season, into 2022. Open up to receive the benefits of everything that has been ignited here today. And remember, you are a brilliant, beautiful, sacred being, a creator being, a multidimensional master of light. Claim yourself as that and glow, glow, glow. Please glow this holiday season. And consider all these beautiful opportunities to take this journey further with Beth and her special offers and the option to work with her privately. And just remember, you are brilliant, you're resilient, you're dearly loved, you're not alone. Thank you for joining us on this soulful adventure today and throughout this season. I am sending crystalline rainbow waves of new earth grace and glory and gratitude from my heart to yours. May you feel it, receive it, and offer it to those you encounter today or tonight, wherever you happen to be in the world. And as always, until next time, which is only a couple weeks away, 2, 3, January 3rd, we start season 22. In 2022. So until that time, isn't that great?
That's awesome.
So until that time, everyone, please give yourself full permission to shine instead of shrink, express instead of suppress, and of course, own that amazing, powerful glow of yours. I'll see you back here in this playground of night light next year. Yes, see you next year, everybody. Bye-bye.